The Body Snatcher by Louis Stevenson. Part 3. Fettes and Macfarlane began working together more closely. When the class was short of bodies, they would go out at night in Macfarlane's carriage. Driving far into the countryside, the two young men would visit lonely graveyards, always returning to the dissecting room before dawn. They did not socialise outside their work, but one afternoon they met by chance in a popular tavern. Macfarlane was sitting with a small, pale, dark stranger named Gray. This unpleasant fellow was very rude towards the young doctor.
"Toddy, get your friend another drink." "Don't call me that name," said Macfarlane. Gray laughed. "Toddy hates me. He would like to cut me up with a knife."
Fettes joined in the joke.
"We medical students have a better way than that," he said. "When we dislike a dead friend, we dissect him."
Macfarlane clearly did not enjoy the joke. But the men continued drinking together all afternoon. At one point, Gray ordered a huge meal.
"You're paying for this,"
he told Macfarlane. They finally separated late in the evening. Gray was very drunk, and Fettes only slightly less so. Macfarlane said little. He did not respond to Gray's continual insults, and paid for everything. But there was a murderous look in his eyes. Fettes walked home soon after midnight. The next day, Macfarlane was absent from the class. Fettes smiled to himself as he imagined Gray and Macfarlane still out drinking together. After class, he went back to look for them, trying several different taverns across the city without success. Eventually, he returned to his rooms and went to bed early. At 4 a.m, the familiar signal awoke him. Going down to the door, he was astonished to find it was Macfarlane. In his carriage was one of those long and terrible packages Fettes knew so well.
"What happened?" cried Fettes. "Have you been out alone?"
Macfarlane silenced him. "Help me carry this in," he ordered. They took the body upstairs and laid it upon the table.
"Where did you find this body?" demanded Fettes. "When? How?"
Macfarlane put his finger to his lips. "You need to look at the face," he said. With great reluctance, Fettes forced himself to look at a face he instantly recognised. It was Gray, the man they had drunk with the night before. Fettes stood staring down at the floor. Macfarlane broke the terrible silence and laid his hand on his shoulder. "You must pay me," the murderer said. "Your accounts must be right."
"Pay you?" Fettes cried. "Pay you for that?"
"Yes, of course," said Macfarlane. "Where does old K keep his money?"
"There,"
answered Fettes, pointing to a cupboard in the corner. "Give me the key then," said the other, holding out his hand. For a few seconds, Fettes hesitated. "They'll hang me," he said, handing Macfarlane the key. Now there was no turning back. Opening the cupboard, Macfarlane took out the pen and ink from one compartment. Then he removed the accounts book and some money. "Now," he said, "enter the payment in your book and we will both be safe." Fettes did not argue. The older student terrified him. "You can keep the money," said Macfarlane. "I've had my share already. But it's important that you be careful. Don't buy expensive class books or pay off old debts. Borrow, don't lend.
They'll hang me for helping you,
said Fettes.
Helping me? Cried Macfarlane. What a boy you are.
You are doing this in self-defence. You can't begin and then stop. And nothing will happen to you if you keep your mouth shut.
What have I done?
Said Fettes, shaking his head.
My dear fellow, said Macfarlane, in life there are two groups of us, the lions and the lambs. If you're a lamb, you'll end up on these tables, like Gray or Jane Galbraith.
And if I'm a lion?
You'll live well and drive a horse, like Kay or me. 3 days from now, you'll laugh at this.
And with that, Macfarlane left, leaving Fettes alone. The young man knew he was in a terrible situation. But what could he do? The secret of Jane Galbraith and the entry in the accounts book closed his mouth. Hours passed and the class began to arrive. The parts of Gray's body were passed out to different students. Nobody in the class noticed anything unusual.